I'm bringing this straight into our next guest, Wade Miley. Whew, take a deep breath.
I'm sorry,
joining
Wade.
us right now, Milwaukee Brewers superstar in the rotation, joining us. Wade, how are you? We appreciate the time. And so we're going over all the call-ups. Every time a dude gets called up now, right, they do a whole skit. It's all like orchestrated, social media team behind the scenes, like Ashton Kutcher's pump team. But we were like, what about if Kratz, each time he got sent down, took a selfie with his manager with his sad face? How you doing, dude?
Good. How are y'all? I caught the tail end of that. I didn't really know what was going on.
Wade, you're better off not knowing, because like Kratz, you have played for almost every team in the big league. So luckily yours are in the big leagues, Kratz are in the minor leagues. So just imagine Kratz having played for every team in the history of the minor leagues and keep getting sent down and having to show his face when he got told the news. That's basically what they were talking about.
Yeah.
Let's start just sending text messages.
Yeah, instead of just in text messages. What do you got, Waiter?
Do you like that stuff?
How we doing, man?
Good. Do you like that stuff? Like, do you check out like a video of a dude getting called up and get all emotional, or do you feel like we're taking a little too far now, where they're like setting up this whole like kind of prank thing where it's like, hey, bring him in, sit him down?
It's out of control. It's out of control. It's completely out of control. I mean, I don't even know where to start. It's we got the freshmen here in Milwaukee this year. There's like 5 of them. I think there's one left here now, but they did the whole spring training. There's just cameras everywhere following those guys around.
What was your call up like? What do you remember?
Brett Butler called me in the office, and it was pretty. I pitched that night, and the next day I think somebody got hurt. Jason Marquis took a line drive off the leg, so I got called up by default, and just called me in there and told me I was going to fill in for Marquis. Pretty low key and just nothing crazy.
So they didn't interview at all for the freshman class thing that they didn't.
no hidden cameras, none of that, nothing crazy. Just take off. We're flying out tomorrow.
Just fly out, and you know what? Congratulations, you made the big leagues. Like, they didn't have to make a huge to do about it.
That's right.
Wait,
there's enough pressure without all that. You know what I mean? Like,
yes.
My God.
Wait, can I get the play-by-play from you? Because you brought up flying. I was going to wait, but our fan base is very active. And Rowdy was just on the other day trying to talk shit as usual. And he's like, every team's got that one guy on the plane who's either like, I hate the plane, or he keeps to himself. So AJ in our chat, the different AJ, said, are you going to ask Miley about flying? Rowdy said he was scared of flying. I don't think he said scared. I think he just said, like, you do your own thing. You're just like, all right, let's get through this. So what do you do on flights?
I sit tight, and I use the armrest to like drive the plane. Like, it's not good. I've gotten better over the years, but anxiety goes through the roof. I check the weather. I check with the pilots. I got a whole routine I do before I even get on board to make sure that it's gonna to get us there safely, or hopefully get us there safely.
I've seen this entire routine. He's got this like expensive weather app and a flying app that he checks. But then if we're sitting on the plane, you sit on the plane, AJ, like they're loading stuff in, and like you got to get all your bats on the plane, and you might have to sit there for a little longer. Wade's anxiety goes through the roof. He's sitting there like, well, now I got to re-up the app, man. Oh man, he's looking in the aisles. He's looking down the aisle. It's tremendous. Only upped by this. What do you do when you get to the hotel and you check your room?
I make sure it's on a pretty low level. Not a huge elevator guy either. I refuse to get on there with more than 3 people.
We got to New York. We got to New York, and he goes, "Hey, does anybody want to take 30? I'll take floor 5 and below." He didn't want to be high up in the hotel.
That's my workout too. I use the stairs. Take the stairs. That's my lower body. Knock that out right when we get into a city, so I don't have to do it when I get to the ballpark. Yeah, a little bizarre, but it's worked out.
So have you ever had a situation where, for example, and it doesn't even have to be during the season, right? Maybe you're on vacation, the fam, they're like, sir, we got you the upgrade to the presidential suite on the 35th floor. That is the top floor. And you're like, nah, do you have anything like on floor 2?
No, I stay at a lot of Holiday Inns. They don't got presidential suites there, so just best available.
Wait, is that a fear of heights thing, or is that a fear of elevators thing?
I think it's the lack of control. I'm a kind of control freak, so it's like you sitting back on an airplane. I don't know this guy driving this thing. I try to have a conversation with him when I get on. Some of them are cool. Some of them are just kind of like don't talk to me. I mean, I don't know. I don't like riding a vehicle with certain people. I mean, it's like I count them on one hand who I'm comfortably in a vehicle with, riding as a passenger. It's bad. It's terrible.
Do you call your own game then? If you're a
What's
control freak, do you control your own game? You call your own game?
No, like not really.
You put it on your glove and go beep 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 because you don't want the pitcher.
No, I've tried it. I've tried to wear it just for a couple of situations. Now with the whole pitch clock, just maybe 3 or 4 times during the game, you're convicted on a certain pitch and I want to throw it. I would have it there, but no, I'd much rather. I feel like the catcher has a better view of the stuff I got that day and stuff like that. So I put a lot of trust in the catcher and go from there.
I appreciate that. That's why you're on the show. You put a lot of trust in me that you're coming on the show here. So and you put a lot of trust in Schauger that you're in his office. Schauger's office is.
He gave me his office. He allowed me to use it.
Tell everyone because no one knows who that is. No offense, Schauger.
Jason Schauger. Actually, I think a couple weeks ago, y'all had Brandon Woodruff on there, and he kind of threw him under the bus a little bit about some kind of bat, a special bat, or hit a homer or something with a bat. And I just kind of wanted to clear that up. I don't think it's really Schauger's fault. I know they're having a little their relationship hasn't been the same since that interview.
Yeah, that went viral. That's the Brandon Woodruff home run bat off Kershaw. Yeah, the word from Woodruff was Schauger sent it back down to the minors, right?
Schauger, supposedly he lost it, but I don't blame Schauger. But I would love Schauger to say his side of it and come on the show. So after you leave,
he just opened his door, but he pieced out real fast. I should have got him in here to clear it up.
He will. He needs his own. He needs his own. He is a legend in the equipment decor, especially after all the stuff you guys did for Father's Day and everything. That is Schauger's like. Schauger loves like
paint helmets. He paints so much. He wants everything's got to be perfect. It's bizarre. I tried to go out the other day. I think Friday we wear them light blue uniforms. And before, I don't really like wearing them, so I had my Navy on him, and I passed by his door. He, freaked out. Hey, man, you got the wrong stuff on.
Yeah, he will definitely
change.
He is definitely the equipment police when he's creating something. But that's why the Brewers have the best color matches and everything. Speaking of color match, Freddie P was just on yesterday, and he was telling me about the outfits that you bought for the starting pitchers. And then, so tell us about the outfit, and if you can, tell us what Rowdy looks like in the same outfit.
We can't get Rowdy in the outfit. Rowdy, they don't go that big. We don't have a size for Rowdy to get in that club. It's a starting pitcher thing. I'm not comfortable in them, but we all do it because we all want to look like Freddie. Freddie's a specimen, and but yeah, I think Rowdy had some short pants on. He's got to go with the 9 inchers though. The 7 inchers are a little too short for him.
Is it short? Like, are we wearing sliders underneath here, or are we talking like
they got built-in sliders? They got built-in sliders. Nobody wants to see nobody's junk hanging out, so built-in sliders in the shorts. Most guys are wearing them. Big Woo and Burnsy, they're a little tight on those guys. They're a little thicker around the hips, but they look good in them.
Who's not wearing them?
All the starters are wearing them for the most part.
Okay.
Yeah.
When you guys are working out, are you thinking about when you played for the Diamondbacks and they took away all the good food you could eat, like ice cream and snacks and candy?
I got myself ran smooth out of Arizona because of gluten.
No, because I told the story the other day that when I was with the White Sox, this is when it all started, and we'd go into cities and they'd be like, "Oh, we had to take all the ice cream out and all the good food out, meaning the ice cream, the snacks, the chips, because like the Yankees were just in town. They're not allowed to eat that shit." And Ozzie Guillen would say, "No, I want the ice cream, I want the chips, I want the alcohol back in." And so they'd be so happy, all the clubbies, because they're like, "Yes, the White Sox are coming. They're going to eat all the shit no one else wants to eat." So that's you. I'm on Team Wade here. I'm a grown man.
I just feel like we're grown ass men. If I want to go eat a candy bar, if you don't want to go eat it, don't go eat it. That's the decision you make. But to take it from me where I can't eat it, that's where I ran into the issue at the time, I was probably 24, 25 years old. Like, if I want a candy bar, I'm going to give me a candy bar. And they tried to, like, kind of take that away. I had them in my locker. You know, I had some stuff stored, spent some time with some Sam's Club. You know, I had to buy it in bulk, but I definitely had it.
So you had to kind of sneak it in? Was it like summer
It
camp
was
for
bizarre.
kids?
Yeah. Yeah, it was bizarre. It was paying dues and having to buy my own Snickers. It drove me nuts.
What is your go-to candy bar? What was your go-to candy bar then? Is it the same now?
You guys aren't going to believe this. About 6 weeks ago, I kind of changed my ways a little bit. I'm a little on the healthier side, trying to take care of myself. I kind of want to play a little bit longer, so I'm trying to do better. So I haven't really had a candy bar in a while, but if I could have one, it'd probably be Butterfinger,
Ooh.
Reese Cup, somewhere along there.
Butterfinger gets stuck in your teeth though. Like,
That's
you
all
can't
right.
ever get it out of your
I grind
teeth.
it up good.
Oh man! All right, Reese's
Love
Cups I'm down with, but Butterfingers get stuck in your teeth, and you're like, for
Yeah,
like
but
3 days, you're like, man, oh, that was a piece of
That's
Butterfinger.
part of it. That's good. You can eat on it for 3 days. You know, just lick your back molar, and you still got the flavor there.
Wait. What did you call the other one? The other one. What did you call the cups?
The Reese Cup.
The Reese's. They're not Reese's. Reese's.
Whatever. You knew exactly what I was talking about.
I know, and I just wanted to hear you say it again. But I am so like, I don't know if I'm embarrassed, sad, or happy for you that you are eating healthy. Like 6 weeks? 6 weeks? I thought that shirt was looking baggy on you. Like, what next?
A little bit.
You're gonna trim your beard up?
A little bit. I'm trying to get a little younger. There was gray all in here. I tried to cut it all out. I mean, I guess a little bit of a midlife crisis.
All of a sudden you want to pitch longer. Back in 18, you were like, man, I don't know, man. Like, this might be it. Now all of a sudden you're like, oh, I'm looking for a long-term extension from the Brewers. Jiminy Christmas. Come on, dude.
Last year was tough on me. Last year, every time I pitched 1 week and I'd be on the shelf for 2 weeks. Pitch 1 week, be on the shelf, and I was kind of over it. And then I don't know, I feel healthy again, and it's fun, you know, kind of re-sparked it a little bit.
Are you buying cows online a lot again?
No, I'm kind of past. I mean, we still got a lot of cattle, but I don't do the online buying anymore. Do a little more selling now, so finally starting to see some profits from that.
Oh, so you had too many. You have a surplus, and now the demand is out there.
Yeah, we got a good many of them now. Yeah, just looking to sell them now.
How do you get into that? Because some of your name has come up on that front too. Some of your teammates will be like, "Hey, what are some of the guys doing in the clubhouse when they're chilling?" And I think it was Peralta who brought it up. He was like, "Oh, Wade, he just chills and buys cows." I'm like, "What?"
Yeah, I've just been around them my whole life. Me and my brother, we just grew up around cattle, and in 2008 we kind of started a beef business, and those first 5, 6, 7 years was kind of tough. So yeah, I spent a lot of time on the internet trying to find cheap cows and cheap this and finding deals, and you don't get to pick when the auctions are, so you just kind of whatever time, be 3 or 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock right before a game, and I'll be in there trying to make some good deals, and some guys having to witness it.
Some dudes play video games pregame. You were buying cattle. That's cool. There's nothing.
Yeah.
There's nothing. Yeah, everybody gets their rush before the game.
Yeah,
Why did you sign back with the Brewers?
Say that again?
Why did you sign back with the Brewers?
Man, I loved it here, to be honest. That year in 18, we had so much fun. You were a part of it. It was a blast. And really, the last 5 years, each off season, I was like, man, I'd love to go back to Milwaukee. I knew they had something special brewing over here, and just finally got the opportunity and just jumped on it. You know, was super excited. Love Counts, the coaching staff, Murph was a big part of it. Obviously, me and Woodruff have been close buddies for since we played together. Stayed in contact with him. I was really hoping to just come in here and watch him and Woodruff and Burns lead us to the promised land. So we still got time for that.
Now you got to pitch. You got to pitch good too.
You just kind of got to slip down. I'd like to pitch in between them because I know that year in 19 when I was with Houston, they had me in between Verlander and Cole, and it's like people just forget about you. You just slip in there real quick and get out. They're more worried about Garrett Cole the next night or Verlander the night before.
Hey,
so I need these guys healthy.
Wade, you're a fastball cutter guy now, right? 4-seam cutter guy now?
Yeah, I'll throw a few more four seams, more or less cutter changeup.
Cutter changeup combo now.
Cutter changeup, a lot of cutters, a lot of changeups. Yeah.
Have you always thrown this? You've obviously thrown cutter your whole life.
No, I started throwing it in late in 17. I was rocking about a 7 ERA in Baltimore. The AL East ain't for me. and I was trying to wiggle my way out. Just trying to get through outings. I was struggling bad, and we were in Tampa, and I was giving up a grand slam. And I remember going to Caleb Joseph, and I'm like, dude, I'm going to throw this slider as hard as I can. I got to have something going in on righties. And that's kind of where it just took off.
So you invented it on the mound.
And in middle of a game. I
That
played with it a couple times before, but it was terrible. And I just started throwing it hard in that off season of 17. Spent some time talking to some guys that threw cutters and just tried to figure out how to command it and move it to both sides of the plate. And then Kratzy started calling it. I think we were in Cincinnati one day, and we didn't have it. Our bullpen was pretty tired, and Counsell was going to run me out there for a while. And Kratzy called about 97 cutters, and we went after him. And from that moment on,
8 innings. I think you went 8 that day, and it was you wanted to go back out for the 9th, and I think we had like 2 guys left in the pen, and you were like, Counts, just give it to me. Counts was like, you have 115 pitches. There's no way we're sending you back out. And you were like, yeah, all right. I just remember it being a day game in Cincinnati, and
it was hot. It was a hot one too.
You were sweat, and you don't sweat because you don't ever drink any water, so you
Right.
don't sweat. And you're like, afterwards, you go, man. You were sitting on the bench, and on the visiting bench, the sun like beams in, and you're sitting back. You were like sipping on the bottle of water, and you go, hey man, I think I'm gonna go inside. And you just went inside. You were so hot. It was.
I was fixing to die. I was fixing to pass out.
Yes, you were. And so you're going to pass out inside on the couch. That's what I kind of wanted to get to. Like you have this like, oh, I like unhealthy food, by cattle, all this stuff. What people don't understand about you and what I learned about you when we played together and, we almost made the World Series together, you compete your absolute face off. Where did that come from?
I don't know, man. I just love it. I love that moment of being out there. That's why I'm still playing. That one day we get to go out and pitch and compete. I don't know. It just becomes a battle, I guess, an internal battle, and then I just try to get after it.
Is there anything else? That gets you like that?
Fishing. I love fishing. Yeah. I mean, there's a few things. Anything competitive. Anytime I'm competing with it could be any sport. Throwing darts, playing pool, whatever. I like to win. That kind of got instilled into me at a young age. One of my summer ball coaches, he's a savage, and that's just kind of how he treated us, and that's just kind of what happened.
Hey, Wade, how's your family on start days? Like, do they not give a shit anymore because you've been in the league for a while? So it's like, just you can mess with dad, jump on his back, do whatever you want. Like,
don't jump on that back. That thing is hummus, soft. you gotta keep that together.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty laid back, so I don't really think too much about the whole game side until I'm like an hour before. So I try to have a normal day as possible. No crazy, like don't talk to nobody. I'm having a good time, shooting some hoops when we get in the clubhouse. Me and Jeb, my little boy, we'll wake up and play in the morning time, and just try to be as normal as possible, and then just try to kick it on when it gets time.
I like it. Question for you. I want to take you back a few years ago because I remember, I think it was 2019. There was a point where like an old teammate told you were tipping or something like that. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
So what's the culture like? I mean, these guys have talked about it. If somebody picks up a tip, like if you see it from another dude that you played with, like, do you tell him, or if he's a division rival, like maybe you'll hit him, October 1st if their team doesn't make the playoffs?
It's tough because I mean I've been on 8 or 9 different teams now, and I've got some close friends in this game, so it's hard to sit back and not say anything, but at the same time, you're competing against these guys. Me and Big Woodruff, we had a conversation the other day. There was a start, and I maybe shouldn't say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. He pitched against us in Cincinnati, I believe, in 20. I think it was the COVID year. And me and we're close. Like, we've been close for a long time, and he was doing some toe tapping thing. Like, 3 was something and 4 was something else. And he still pitched well, but we ended up, beating him. We scored 4 or 5 runs late homer. And it took everything in me, and he had a rough one the next game, and I was like, I had to tell him. Like, I didn't want to watch him go down that road guessing of like why his stuff's not good or why he's giving up runs. But I mean, It's a tough spot to be in for sure.
Yeah, because you're a great friend and a great teammate, and that's why your value goes more than what you do on the field. Yeah, you're throwing cutters. Yeah, you're throwing change ups up there to get the guys out, but you're a teammate that cares for your guys, and I think that's awesome that you told him what he was doing, because Big Woo's he's gonna be your opponent for however long, but he's gonna be your buddy. He's gonna be your friend
for a lifetime, right? And that's the way you got to look at it, man. And seems a little soft, but at the end of the day, you want everybody to come up and do well. You want everybody to come up and be as good as they can possibly be, and maximize whatever they're trying to maximize in this game. And I think about that all the time. Obviously, we're competing, and when I'm out there, it's a little bit cutthroat. But when you're sitting back and watching, enjoying the game for the game, it's we only get to do it for so long. So you kind of want to see guys perform at a high level as often as they can, and you want to beat people at their best.
The teammate that helped you, or the ex-teammate back then, and I know it was kind of like after the season, but still, I mean, going into next season at least, obviously you corrected it pretty quickly. Did you send him like a bottle of wine or something? Like, thanks, man.
I know we had a couple good conversations about it. It's a peace of mind a little bit. I don't know if y'all remember, there was a stretch at 19 where I was probably on pace to have one of the better years of my career, and it just came to a halt. I didn't make it out of the first inning, maybe like 4 or 5 starts in a row. Didn't know what was going on. And then after the year, I made a start out in Anaheim, and he reached out to me after that and kind of told me, hey, bro, you need to check this out. And I did, and it just gave me a peace of mind going into the offseason that, hey, maybe if I can clean this up, I can get back on track.
Who was it? Who told you?
I don't want to bust him.
Come
Is he still in the league?
Man.
Can you tell us when he retired?
He's still playing. I can't bust him, but he's still playing.
Wait, you got better friends than I do. Than I was. because I played. So I came up with the Twins, and I played with Brad Radke, and then I went to the White Sox, and he was tipping, and we had every pitch. And I didn't tell him. I waited till his retirement party, and at his retirement party, I said, "Hey, by the way, we had every pitch you were throwing." He's like, God damn it! Why didn't you tell me I was
yeah,
because I was in the division. I wanted to get more hits off you.
No.
And he's like, so now you tell me?
It's hard.
Your friends are better friends than I would have been.
It's tough. I've only done it a couple times to people I'm close with, but it's like, damn, I hope he doesn't tell anybody that I told. It's just a tough situation, but I can't sit there and watch him, get roughed up, knowing that this is probably a big root of the reason. And it just didn't feel right without saying it. So I said it. It is what it is.
AJ, there's no way Brad Radke is still your friend. He definitely hates you.
Totally.
Nah, frenemy. He's definitely like, AJ, what's up, dude? How you doing? And then right after he's with him, he's like, fucking
No, honestly. So, listen, in his speech, his retirement speech, he had this big thing and invited a bunch of us over in Tampa. And in his speech, he's like, I just want to say thank you, AJ, because I wondered my last couple of years why I was getting hit so hard. And he's like, it was because I'm tipping. And he's like, if you would have told me earlier, you son of a bitch, I still would have been playing. He's like, I just thought I had lost my stuff. And I was like, well, dude, I had to get hits somehow. Like, if I'm facing a guy, okay. If he was in a different division or not one of our rivals, I probably would have told him.
I know what's bizarre to me is the fact that, like, there's a lot of guys out there that do something. They'd have some kind of tip. It may not be 100%, 80, 90%. Like, we see it very often. And the guys that don't want it blows my mind. Like, I don't know. I've never really been a hitter since I was in high school. But I feel like if I can know what's coming, I'd have a hell of a lot better chance. I mean, is that not accurate?
For sure. Everybody wants to. If you don't want to know, they're like, guys are like, oh, I don't want to know. What do you mean you don't want to know what's coming?
My swing. I'm going to swing at everything. What do you mean you're going to swing at everything? Like, as soon as I see it, I'm going to swing. Bullshit. Like, it's the big leagues. Like, you can see a pitch. Like, but I don't know. I'm not in those shoes. But yeah, it blows my mind.
You ever think like somebody that comes to your mind right now that you're like, dang, the way that guy hits me, he must be. I must be tipping something. Who is that hitter for you?
Scott Van Slyke in L.A. I think I gave up 7 or 8 homers. I threw at him one night in Arizona, and he put his foot in the bucket and hit me, and almost hit off a TGI Fridays. I'm just like, I'm done. I got nothing for this guy.
Scott Van Slyke.
Scott Van Slyke hit everything I threw.
Wait, I told that story about Burley the other day. what was the guy's name? Right-handed hitter for the Angels, some of the Q. I don't know. It was irrelevant. It was before your guys' time, but he owned Burley, right? We couldn't get him out. So we said, screw it. We're just throwing fastballs away every pitch. Fastball away, fastball away. We finally started getting him out because he was looking for cutters in, changeups. We're like, nope, every pitch is going to be sinker away. Because he was, guessing cutter, changeup.
Right.
And we got him. He went 0 for 4, and I think Burley was like, oh my gosh, miracles do happen.
Yeah, I threw the whole book at Van Slyke, and he's hit every pitch I had. Like, he's hit the changeup, he's hit the curveball, he's hit the fastball, the sinker. He hit everything I had. I mean, it was just like, if this guy's in the lineup, like I'm toast.
You guys fall asleep on me?
Yeah, I lost you.
Did we lose Scott and Mark? Eric?
We did. We lost them.
Finally, Wade. I finally can say whatever I want about those two fools. Hey, listen, I love those stories about you discovering pitches and you making things up and as you go, because those are the stories that people don't hear, right? You hear about like, oh, I went in the bullpen and I worked on my spin rate to get my release point right here, right? And then boom, oh no, screw this. I was getting whacked and I was like, I'm throwing this pitch, right? Now let's go to 2023 here. Brewers, you guys are behind the Reds.
Right.
You're going to give me the standard. The Reds are a good team, but seriously, the Reds?
They're doing a little different than what you normally would see. I would say that even the Pirates and the Reds, you're seeing more of like, I don't know if you call it old school baseball or traditional baseball or whatnot. I mean, their manufacturer runs it in a different way. Teams like that are a little tougher for like myself at least. They're not just up there air pulling trying to hit homers to left. So I've been watching them over the last couple of weeks, and I mean, they're obviously hot right now, and it's impossible to stay this hot. But yeah, I don't know what to say about that. The Pirates have cooled off a little bit, but yeah, the Reds are playing good ball right now. Is it sustainable? Who knows?
The team.
I don't think we've been very good since we left Seattle. We've been kind of up and down. We haven't really got traction since then.
The thing for me is when I watch you guys play, like you guys are built on starting pitching, obviously, with you, Burns, Woodruff has been out, Freddie, who's kind of been up and down. He's been okay, right? And then you're back into your bullpen with Williams and some other guys. But the question I have is, when you get those guys back, don't you think you guys should be able to put together that run that will separate from the pack, whether it's the Pirates, the Reds, the Cardinals, whoever? Like, I feel like there's a run in you guys that hasn't come yet, right? Like a 9 out of 10 or
for
8
sure.
out of 10. Like,
you know that feeling. You know that feeling when it happens. Like we're grinding. I don't know if you want to say grinding, but we're scuffling here and there. But you know that feeling, like it's going to come at some point where you rattle off 4 or 5 in a row, and then you get that every time you walk out, we're going to win this game, and you kind of. We've had opportunities to do that throughout the year. Early in the year, we had opportunities to walk away from this division, and we just kind of shit down our leg a little bit. Hopefully we can get going here shortly and get back into that, because I think the talent's there. I think the team's built to do that. It's just not happening right now.
What's it going to take? You've seen Bull Durham, right? Sacrificing a live chicken. You can bring
maybe
in a cow,
I don't know.
Maybe feed the boys with a cow or.
I was hoping it was the Weimer mullet the other day. He had Milwaukee fired up, but we fizzled back off after that. But I mean, it's a long season and a lot of things happen. We just gotta find ways to win these games, man. We put ourselves in kind of bad situations early, and we're just not clawing back, fighting back in them.
Get Rowdy to grow his hair out. That's what I'm thinking.
I know. I've been talking shit to Rowdy about getting some hits. Like, damn.
Go up there, so go up to Rowdy and just say, like, grab his, like, whatever his game bat is and just start, rubbing it.
Right, do something to it.
And be like, hey, I got hits in me.
I was going to ask Counts if I can hit for myself my next start and let Rowdy stay on the bench and watch and see if I can stir some shit up.
Do it right in front of Rowdy and see what he says, because he gets on me every time he comes on. That I was in Milwaukee, I was in San Fran, and I went up to Colton Wong and Jace Peterson, and I said, hey, man, your first baseman sucks. I can still play. And I've been retired for like 5 years, and Rowdy was sitting right there, so he brings it up every time.
That's what he needs to hear. I think that's what fuels him. I really, truly think, like, you talk a little shit to him or get in his head a little bit about, like, I mean, he's obviously a pretty damn good hitter and he can do some damage, but you get in his head a little bit and it kind of stirs him up, and then you go see it. I think somebody said something to him in Minnesota. Did he come on the show in Minnesota? Because he was like 3 for 4, hit some shit rides.
He had the awful shirt on.
Oh, and they wore that goofy, like that polo with all the flowers on it or weed on it or whatever it was?
Yes, that one. Yeah,
oh
he came
my God,
on.
Yeah. He was on the show that day?
Absolutely.
He wore that show in a public setting, like where people can see.
Yes, 100%.
Oh my God, that's tough.
It was tough. It was, and then he was making fun of me, and I was like, "Rowdy, have you seen your shirt?"
Right.
Like, I don't want anyone to see my shirt. I asked him what size it was, and he wouldn't tell me either.
3X for sure.
Oh, that's so great. Well, Wade, thank you for coming on. I really do. We do appreciate it. I don't know.
Yep.
You scared your boy Kratzy away. I was hoping to hear more stories about how he ruined your career, but you kept pumping him up, so we kicked him off the show. So thank you. Thanks for coming on, Wade. We appreciate it. We'll see you.
Yeah, thank y'all. Enjoyed it. Y'all be good.